implementation in Malaysia does not require a Western framework. Traders warned against raising prices arbitrarily. Good evening and Salam Malaysia Madani. You're watching Malaysia Tonight. I am Olivia Nicholas. Now, before we begin, we would like to wish those celebrating Selamat Hari Gawai. May the vibrant spirit of Hari Gawai bring abundant joy, prosperity and unity to all celebrating this auspicious occasion, wishing you a harvest of blessings and cultural richness as you embark on this festive journey. Moving on, the field of artificial intelligence, AI, in Malaysia needs to be applied with the values of Turat Islam or Islamic scholarly tradition and not completely guided by the Western model. Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim said the skills and development of AI progress in the country needs to be filled with the treasures of knowledge and the legacy of Islam to be used as a corpus so that the development of technology goes hand in hand with manners and morality. Dato Sri Anwar said that the knowledge contained in AI technology is currently based on materials from Western countries because the technology was developed by them.
Kebimbangan saya di Malaysia dalam mengembangkan AI dan digital ialah nilai yang dipupuk itu nilai barat, pemikiran barat. Walaupun AI itu dianggap seolah neutral, seluruh korpus ilmu boleh dimasukkan dan bila ada soalan, jawapannya itu nampak lengkap. Sebab itu saya katakan turas itu ada kaitan kerana turas itu mesti juga dimasukkan supaya AI yang dimuntahkan, diluahkan dari negara-negara Islam itu tidak terpisah daripada sistem nilai dan akhlak Islam.
The Premier said this when officiating the Riyadu As-Salihin Appreciation Seminar in conjunction with the Selangor Turat Islami Festival in Shah Alam. At the event, he also launched the translation of Kitab Ihya Ulumuddin and 40 Hadith into Malay. The Communications Ministry will soon be launching a campaign to educate families about how to stay safe while using social media platforms. Its Minister Fahmi Fadil said, known as Online Safety for Children and Families campaign, it is aimed to combat child grooming through social media and to stop the issue of children under 13 years old registering for social media use, even though these platforms do not allow it.
Jadi di sini kita lihat ibu bapa memang kita faham platform-platform ini banyak mendatangkan manfaat tapi ada juga banyak kemudaratan. Dan harapan saya dengan kempen keselamatan dalam talian untuk kanak-kanak dan keluarga, kita akan dapat kumpulkan semua agensi termasuk PDRM, Bank Negara dan juga seperti Jabatan Perlindungan Data Pribadi memberi penegasan tentang apakah langkah-langkah yang perlu kita ambil untuk sentiasa menjamin keselamatan diri kita, anak-anak kita, keluarga kita bila kita memanfaatkan internet.
Met at the Kita Madani Carnival for the Federal Territories of Kuala Lumpur and Putrajaya, Fahmi said WhatsApp is the most common app misused for this purpose, citing information from the Police Sexual Women and Child Investigation Division. On another note, Fahmi asked the public to cease speculation and let the police investigate the case of a disabled e-hailing driver allegedly beaten by a bodyguard of a VIP. He said the Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Razaruddin Hussain has assured that an investigation will be conducted and the public is advised not to speculate on the matter.
Ini tidak akan membantu siasatan dan kita serahkan kepada pihak berkuasa. Dan sekiranya didapati di penghujung siasatan itu perlu diambil beberapa tindakan termasuk membawa sesiapa ke mahkamah, itu kita serah kepada pejabat ataupun jabatan pegawai negara.
Fahmi also reminded netizens to be cautious and to avoid touching on 3R issues on social media, as this is also aimed at preventing the situation from worsening. All traders are reminded against raising the prices of goods arbitrarily ahead of Adil Adha. Deputy Domestic Trade and Cost of Living Minister Fuzia Saleh said more than 2,200 enforcers and 1,000 KPDN price monitoring officers will be deployed to premises daily, including retail shops and supermarkets nationwide, to ensure that no traders raise prices arbitrarily.
Dan kita juga di bawah kita ialah akta kawalan harga dan anti pencatutan. Jadi kita boleh mengambil tindakan sekiranya kita lihat ada kenaikan harga yang tidak munasabah. Jadi saya menggesa kepada para peniaga supaya tidak mengambil kesempatan dalam musim-musim perayaan apabila demand itu tinggi untuk tarik harga.
She said even though there is no implementation of the festive season maximum price scheme SHMMP for Adil Adha, but the enforcement is always monitoring. KPDN is also proactive in monitoring the supply of basic goods in the country, including packet cooking oil for household needs, to ensure there is no leakage due to restaurants also using it. Still ahead in our business segment, international sourcing program ends successfully at Semicon C 2024. The United Kingdom-based Professional Institution for Managers, Chartered Management Institute (CMI), has called for a clear regulatory framework to guide the adoption of artificial intelligence (AI) in Malaysia, reflecting the interconnected nature of the global economy. CMI Chief Executive Officer Anne Franke emphasized the need for proactive regulation to harness AI's benefits for the national economy. She said as AI technology becomes increasingly integrated into business operations, it is also crucial to address the fear and resistance associated with AI by ensuring transparent and proactive regulations. Franke underlined the importance of early government intervention to prevent the pitfalls associated with technological advancement, and also pointed out the potential of AI to create new jobs and enhance productivity. Furthermore, Franke believed that the role of human capital in Malaysia's economic development is critical. Discussing CMI's strategic partnerships with stakeholders in Malaysia, Franke highlighted their role in enhancing the nation's competitiveness and economic growth. She said that CMI has 25 partners in Malaysia, primarily universities, training providers and several government agencies. The Investment, Trade and Industry Ministry, or MITI, has begun to consolidate all investment promotion functions under the Malaysian Investment Development Authority, MIDA. Through a statement, MITI said the consolidation is aimed at eliminating duplicative functions, preventing investor confusion and improving investment facilitation. To that end, the statement said InvestKL Corporation, InvestKL, an existing agency under the ministry, will be a subsidiary under MIDA with effect from today, reflecting the Madani government's overarching approach towards improved public resource utilization and better public service delivery. According to the statement, these efforts will also be implemented in tandem with, among others, a mapping of existing skills and expertise within MIDA to support the efficient implementation of various key policies, such as the new Industrial Master Plan 2030, the Chemical Industry Roadmap 2030, and the recently announced National Semiconductor Strategy. MITI said that it will also prioritize simplifying processes to enhance the investor experience, such as through the Invest Malaysia Facilitation Centre established in December 2023, a multi-agency centre based in MIDA to speed up the resolution of investors' administrative issues. The International Sourcing Program, or INSP, organised by the Malaysia External Trade Development Corporation, MATRADE, held in conjunction with the Semicon Southeast Asia C 2024 event, wrapped up recently with Malaysia standing out among the major regional players in the semiconductor industry. MATRADE and its strategic partners, the Malaysian Investment Development Authority, MIDA, the Malaysian Digital Economy Corporation, MDEC, and Meranti collaborated in undertaking various engagement programs at the Malaysia Sourcing Pavilion, facilitating meetings and pitching with foreign partners to tap into export opportunities around the world. Bustling with visitors, the Malaysia Sourcing Pavilion featured 25 tech companies with diverse competencies in robotics, factory automation, drone tech, health tech, and autonomous vehicles. In total, 196 business meetings took place throughout the three-day event between Malaysian companies and foreign counterparts, resulting in 331.21 million ringgit worth of business deals. MATRADE Chief Executive Officer Dato' Muhammad Mustafa Abdul Aziz said MATRADE's strategic alliances with MIDA, MDEC, and Meranti this year were indeed timely in efforts to strengthen Malaysian companies' participation in the global E&E supply chain. Petronas profit after tax for the first quarter ended 31st of March slipped to 21.3 billion ringgit from 23.8 billion ringgit recorded in the same period last year due to the higher operating expenditure and cash payments amid a prolonged volatile pricing landscape. Revenue, however, rose to 89.7 billion ringgit from 89.3 billion ringgit previously. Petronas President and Group Chief Executive Officer Tan Sri Tengku Muhammad Taufik said the group's steady financial performance in the first quarter demonstrated their focused execution of a clear strategy for the energy transition, developing hydrocarbons with measurable and effective decarbonization initiatives and pursuing cleaner energy solutions. In the first quarter of 2024, Petronas said the oil and gas market continued to be affected by the instability of macroeconomics and geopolitical dynamics amid the energy transition, leading to a prolonged volatile pricing landscape. In line with its energy transition strategy, Petronas said it is progressing at pace to strengthen its core business by continuing towards completion of the Kasawari gas field development in Malaysia and LNG plant in Canada by the end of the year. In addition, Petronas is scaling up its new business with the commissioning of the inaugural interstate transmission system connected solar project in India. Tenaga Nasional Berhad TNB posted a net profit of 715.70 million ringgit for the first quarter. 1Q ended 31st of March 2024, down 28.6% from the 1 billion ringgit achieved a year ago due to mainly to foreign exchange translation lost and tax expenses recognized in the first quarter. Nonetheless, revenue was higher at 13.64 billion ringgit compared with 12.63 billion ringgit previously, reflecting the increase in electricity sales. The electricity utility said in a fling with Bursa Malaysia recently that the demand increased by 9.9%, mainly driven by commercial and domestic sectors. It said the firmer revenue was consistent with the country's gross domestic product expansion of 4.2%. Looking ahead, TNB said it expects a stable performance for this year as the Malaysian economy is projected to grow between 4 and 5%. The group also said it will remain cautious on the challenges ahead while taking prudent measures to ensure it remains resilient. The group further noted that they are committed to play an integral role in supporting the national energy transition roadmap while pursuing business growth. On another note, CIMB Group Holdings Berhad net profit for the first quarter ended 31st of March or first quarter 2024 rose 17.7% to 1.94 billion ringgit from 1.64 billion ringgit in the same quarter last year. The banking group's revenue increased to 5.63 billion ringgit from 5 billion ringgit previously. CIMB said the group's better net profit was driven by strong operating income growth and contained cost and provisions. The bank said the first quarter operating income rose 12.6% year-on-year, YOY, to 5.63 billion ringgit, driven by both net interest income (NII) and non-interest income (NOII) growth. CIMB said total gross loans also increased 7% year-on-year across key markets and segments, especially in Singapore, which grew 13.1%. Deposits increased by 8.2% year-on-year, driven by the strong 16.8% current amount savings account (CASA) growth, which translates to an improved CASA ratio of 40.8% in March 2024 versus 37.9% in March 2023. The bank also noted that its cost-to-income ratio improved year-on-year to 45.3%, attributed to the robust operating income expansion, which offset the 8.9% increase in first-quarter operating expenses from inflationary pressures and technology investments. Commenting on the performance, Group Chief Executive Officer Dato' Abdul Rahman Ahmad said the strong performance seen in the first quarter reflects a positive start to the financial year amid the challenging and uncertain global environment. Bank Negara Malaysia (BNM) has announced the appointment of Muhammad Ali Iqbal Abdul Khalid as a new Assistant Governor effective today. In a statement released recently, the central bank said that Muhammad Ali Iqbal will oversee the investment operations and financial market as well as foreign exchange policy departments. Commenting further on the appointment, BNM said that Muhammad Ali Iqbal joined in 2002 and has served in various departments, including the Investment Operations and Financial Markets Department. He also served in the Governor's Office, the International Department, and as Chief Representative at both BNM representative offices in New York and London. According to BNM, Muhammad Ali Iqbal holds a Master of Business Administration MBA from Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Master of Science in Wealth Management from Singapore Management University, and a Master of Engineering from the University of Durham, United Kingdom. The central bank added that he is a Chartered Financial Analyst (CFA) charter holder and a Chartered Banker from the Asian Institute of Chartered Bankers (AICB). Bursa Malaysia is expected to face continued downward pressure in the coming week as investors remain cautious, focusing on defensive sectors and avoiding risky investments. Maybank Investment Bank Berhad Chartist Nik Ihsan Raja Abdullah said the FTSE Bursa Malaysia KLCI, FBM KLCI may struggle to find an upward momentum unless there are unexpected positive developments in global or local economic data. Moreover, Nik Ihsan said the FBM KLCI's recent performance, characterized by a sixth straight day of decline and cautious trading, reflects ongoing concerns over global interest rate directions and inflationary pressures. The local market has been devoid of fresh positive catalysts, leading to sustained selling pressure and profit-taking activities. Meanwhile, the upcoming economic data, including Malaysia's S&P Global Manufacturing PMI, will be closely watched. During the week, Bursa Malaysia ended lower on cautious trading ahead of the announcements of key economic data in the United States, namely the country's gross domestic product growth and the inflation print on Thursday and Friday, respectively. Local investors also took profit ahead of the long weekend. On a Friday-to-Friday basis, the FBM KLCI fell 22.72 points to 1,596.68 from last week's 1,619.40. Revenues from China's import and export of goods and services topped 4.11 trillion yuan, or approximately $578 billion this April, showing a 13% increase compared to April last year, as per the latest data released by the State Administration of Foreign Exchange, SAHIH. In April, goods valued at 1.906 trillion yuan were exported while imports accounted for 1.62 trillion yuan, resulting in a trade surplus of 281.5 billion yuan for goods. Regarding services trade, exports generated a net of 205.9 billion yuan versus imports totaling 374.7 billion yuan, leading to a services trade deficit of 168.8 billion yuan, or approximately $23.3 billion US. A wide array of sectors contributed to the services trade figures. Notably, travel services contributed 179.9 billion yuan, transportation services added 155.3 billion yuan, and other commercial services brought in 95.7 billion yuan, about $13.2 billion US. Moreover, the telecommunications, computer and information service industries registered a combined trade revenue of 60.3 billion yuan, equivalent to roughly $8.3 billion US. European stocks closed higher yesterday, with investors digesting Eurozone inflation data and a report on US personal income and spending, and looking ahead to the European Central Bank's monetary policy announcement next week. The Pan-European Stoxx 600 climbed 0.32%. The UK's FTSE 100 ended higher by 0.54%. France's CAC 40 ended up 0.18%, and Germany's DAX edged up 0.01%, while Switzerland's SMI surged 1.1%. Among other markets in Europe, Austria, Belgium, Denmark, Iceland, Norway, Poland, Portugal and Sweden ended on a firm note. Finland edged up marginally, while Greece, Netherlands, Russia, Spain and Turkey closed weak. On the economic front, Eurozone headline and core inflation accelerated in May, largely driven by higher services costs ahead of the European Central Bank's Governing Council meeting next week, when it is widely expected to cut interest rates. The harmonized index of consumer prices posted a faster than expected increase of 2.6%, following the 2.4% rise in April. France's economy expanded as estimated in the first quarter, growing 0.2% from the fourth quarter of the previous year. On a calendar and seasonally adjusted basis, retail sales in Germany slumped 1.2% for March, when they grew an upwardly revised 2.6%. Oil prices fell yesterday and posted a weekly loss as investors awaited an OPEC Plus meeting on Sunday that will determine the fate of the producers group's output cuts. Brent futures for July delivery were down 24 cents or 0.3% a barrel, while the more liquid August contract was down 77 cents or 0.8%. U.S. West Texas Intermediate WTI crude futures meanwhile fell 92 cents or 1.2%. For the week, Brent settled down 0.6%, with WTI posted a 1% loss. Matt Smith, lead analyst at Kepler, said it's the trepidation ahead of the OPEC meeting over the weekend, referencing the potential for the group to do something unexpected. He added that it's widely expected that they will roll over the cuts. Sources told Reuters that markets are awaiting the OPEC Plus meeting on Sunday, with the producer group working on a complex deal that would allow it to extend some of its deep oil production cuts into 2025. Saudi Arabia invited ministers to gather in person in Riyadh for the June meeting in a last-minute change of plans. However, the gathering is still officially scheduled as an online meeting. U.S. crude production rose in March to its highest level this year. Data from the U.S. Energy Information Administration, EIA, showed yesterday, while fuel products supplied, a proxy for demand, fell 0.4% to 19.9 million barrels per day. In our foreign segment, Indonesia ready to send peacekeepers' medical staff to Gaza. A Malaysian climber has passed away during an expedition at Mount Denali in Alaska, while 2 other Malaysian climbers have been hospitalized and are receiving appropriate medical treatment. Confirming the incident, the Foreign Ministry, through the Consulate General of Malaysia in Los Angeles, United States, has been in touch with the next of kin of the deceased and is extending consular assistance. The Consulate General is also in touch with the local authorities, and efforts to bring down the body are ongoing depending on the weather conditions. Meanwhile, Alpine Club Malaysia in a Facebook post said that the climber Zulkifli Yusof, 37, reportedly died at 6 a.m. local time on the 29th of May while taking shelter in a snow cave known as the football field. The cause of death is suspected to be a high-altitude cerebral edema and hypothermia and will be confirmed through a post-mortem. It was also mentioned that the second climber, Zaiduddin Lot, 47, was rescued on the 31st of May and is currently receiving treatment at a hospital in Talkeetna, Alaska. Muslim majority Indonesia is ready to send significant peacekeeping forces as well as medical personnel to Gaza if Hamas accepts a new ceasefire proposal. Prabowo Subianto, who will succeed President Joko Widodo in October after winning the February elections, welcomed the plan, describing it as an important step to ending the war.
We are prepared to contribute significant peacekeeping forces to maintain and monitor this prospective ceasefire, as well as providing protection and security to all parties and to all sides. We are also prepared to immediately send medical personnel to operate field hospital in Gaza with the consent and agreement of all sides.
Speaking at the Shangri-La Dialogue in Singapore, Prabowo said Indonesia was also ready to evacuate, receive and to treat up to 1,000 patients in its hospitals in the immediate future. U.S. President Joe Biden announced the Israeli roadmap to permanent peace in Gaza on Friday as Israeli troops pushed into central Rafah despite international objections to any assault on the southern city. Biden said the proposal would begin with a 6-week complete ceasefire and Israeli withdrawal from populated areas of Gaza. Meantime, in central Jakarta, thousands of people adorned in white and black attire as symbols of solidarity gathered outside the United States Embassy, demanding justice and action in support of Palestine. The demonstration, organized by the Indonesian Coalition to Defend Baitul Maqdis under the theme All Eyes on Rafah, began at 6 a.m. local time. At least 1,120 security personnel were deployed to ensure the peaceful progression of the demonstration, which concluded around 10 a.m. Elsewhere, at a ceremony in Riau, President Joko Widodo reiterated Indonesia's commitment to its policy of active non-alignment in international affairs and support for the independence efforts of all nations, including Palestine, while striving for world peace. That concludes this evening's Malaysia Tonight. In our top story, AI implementation in Malaysia does not require a Western framework. Do tune in to World Today, coming up tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. on TV2. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. I'm Olivia Nicholas. Thanks for watching.